So, video game physical media is in jeopardy because of PlayStation. It's your boy, the 10 Man Cave D, back again with another one, another YouTube upload for you. If you've been living under a rock this week, Sony PlayStation announced that they will be stopping all production on disc for video games starting January 2028 and instead have digital formats available at their PlayStation online store, or basically download codes in a box at physical retailers. You know, first, I'm not surprised with the focus and push of the PlayStation 5 digital model. This was to be expected, and this further confirms that the future PlayStation 6 will be pretty much all digital. Um, Now, is this a good move for PlayStation? Well, it seems like PlayStation and Sony believes that with over 78% in digital sales in their last physical year, that makes sense to them. But is this an accurate representation of consumer habits in the current market? How many of these games in the statistic are indies or download only games? With higher increasing game development costs, will cutting costs solve their margin problem? Or will increasing revenue by giving customers multiple reasons to own the games solve it? That is the question that, time will answer. For gamers, physical media, there's a personal connection from cartridges to disc and looking at the game covers, owning physical media, lending physical media, and reselling physical media, create memories during the holidays and at midnight launches, memories that you can't quite be replicated with digital media. So would a full digital future of gaming hurt its marketability? Again, only time will tell. But with a limited retail presence, limited to physical boxes and download codes, what does this mean for smaller mom and pop game stores? They would obviously need to adjust their business model after this move from Sony. What about the second-hand market? What happens to that? Sometimes they give gamers an affordable way to purchase games and increase word of mouth about the games. Can gamers afford to buy games at a full price all the time? Here's my view on digital media. I understand the world is changing and moving fast, and I also understand some are reluctant to change. But just as it rains and snows, you can't change or stop the inevitable. But I also believe that if we are going to move ahead with this digital future, this change must also equally benefit the consumer. It cannot be a zero-sum game. Due to EULA license agreements and user license agreements, video game software has always been limited in ownership. As in, you can resell it, trade it, or lend it, but cannot modify the games or the data. Currently, these abilities don't exist with digital purchases on these digital stores. With existing and new technologies, this must change going forward. And ultimately, this is why I support game key cards. Because though digital, it's also a physical hybrid solution that allows you to resell, trade, or lend them. Because they're not tied to the eShop or any accounts. I know this stance is controversial, but it's the damn truth. Thinking further and moving along, how will this move affect Nintendo? I think Nintendo will retain its physical retail presence for the foreseeable future, and it will give them an advantage moving forward. I think this move, in retrospect, was the reason why game key cards were created by Nintendo in the first place, because this is what third parties wanted and what their respective investors wanted as well. But ultimately, it's going to be consumers in the market that will decide where and how Nintendo moves going forward. For now, physical media is strong in Japan for all entertainment. But, that could change. What can fans do? This is just my opinion, but if you want physical to remain a customer purchasing option, you have to embrace not only the regular game cards, but also the game key cards. And I know for some that's a hard pill to swallow, but if you think buying an eShop game that you can't resell, etc., is more convenient, then, well, you're just going to be part of the problem. And you probably should start saying goodbye to physical media, even on future Nintendo systems. But hey, we had a good run, didn't we? Well, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. I always like to hear your feedback. Also, follow me on Twitch for streams and all my social media, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Threads, etc. Links are in the video description. Peace.